Have you ever had one of those moments where you want to say something, but your teacher just won't let you say it, and you cannot express your thoughts? This idea is called censorship, and guess what? It happens every single day. TV shows, internet, books, all are being censored just because some material inside of them is found offensive. Well, I say that's right. You know Harry Potter, right? The wizard book? Well, guess what? It's banned for Satanism. That's a big word. On page 83 of Fahrenheit 451, a book based on censorship, the character Captain Beatty is quoted saying, "So now do you see why books are hated and feared? They show the pores in the face of life." And we just don't agree with that statement.
Throughout time, books have been burned to protect someone's dignity. In 200 BC, the Chinese dynasty of the Qin were burning books to unify the dynasty. Fortunately for the citizens of this dynasty, though, a copy of each burned book was kept to inform the people. Another unfortunate book burning event was when the Nazis had power in Germany. To prevent the anti-German philosophies from being publicized, in 1933, German college students raided the bookstores and libraries, burning over 250,000 books, including Helen Keller, Jack London, and Albert Einstein. But recently, Lynn Cheney, the Vice President of America's Wife, urged for over 300,000 copies of an American history book focusing on the negatives of America's past. The surprising thing, though, is that this was not so far back and occurred in this country. This arises questions onto the minds of many American citizens. What is the government trying to hide from us? This seems like a barbaric form of censorship and is still occurring today.
Every day in our nation, a book is challenged for banishment, and 42% of challenges are successful in depriving the knowledge in those books from a group of students or community. Books are the primary source of knowledge, and without them, our world would come to an end. Some of the most commonly banned books include the Harry Potter series, Huckleberry Finn, Fahrenheit 451, among other classics. Books like these are banned due to violence, rebellious children, homosexuality, and inappropriate language, along with other excuses. The banning of these books discourages individuality, greatly limits English teachers' choices of books, and makes it much more difficult for them to find books that inspire critical thinking. Some argue that book banning prevents violence in schools, keeps students innocent, and prevents offensive material from offending sensitive students. But these are minuscule consequences to the great benefits that come from deeper thinking. These are just the kind of books that allow students to learn how to problem solve and think on a new level. These books rarely cause violence in schools, and those sensitive students need to get over it. Without these books, they will never learn how to really think. The world can't change for everyone, because something that doesn't offend one person will definitely offend another. And if the requirements for banishment continue to decline, there will no longer be any books that will be available to read. The limits of our literature are the limits of our mind.
Basically, for all teenagers in our era, we like video games. So, if we like video games so much, why do they have to be censored for us? We get exposed to bad language, violence, and all kinds of things during our days at school, so why should they be censored to us in video games? If we're shooting at some people, or we're like in the gangsters yelling at people, cussing at them, why should we not play those kinds of video games? They might be entertaining for us. I mean, if you actually think about it, you don't have to ban these things, because all people in our age and time are all cussing and shooting and fighting with each other. Because the war in Iraq, what's up? That's all fighting and stuff too. So why, if in real life we're being like put up to this stuff, do we have to not have it in our own virtual little worlds? Because I mean, to us, that's just wrong and unfair.
three words in commerce: freedom, freedom,
And freedom.
But with censorship, there is no freedom. The federal government and corporate owners conduct censorship. That's right.
Federal government.
They believe it is okay to deny you your rights to freedom of speech. They decide what is and is not allowed to be viewed. You don't get your own choice.
No choices.
You like Saving Private Ryan? That's been
Shot down.
Corporations believe that they can regulate what everyone in America watches, but who is it for them to decide what is okay for us? Some of the needed materials on the internet is blocked because it contains items that some people find inappropriate or offensive. I'm here to tell you to
Get over it.
censorship is taking the freedom out of the media. What is freedom if your creative ideas are limited by what certain groups find to be appropriate? If you think that is bad in America, why don't you take a trip to China and test drive the censored edition of Google? In China, the government allows little to no internet access to its citizens on the ideas that depict the problems relating to their country. And to hide their interference, the Chinese government has substituted censorship messages with internet error codes. Some say there might not even be an internet access in China in the future. If censorship continues at this rate, then the American public will never be able to see work of some of the most creative minds there are. Censorship puts inspiration in change. It does not allow people to express what they believe in. The evils of censorship have just been revealed to you, and hopefully you've been inspired to stand up against this
Cruelty.
There are several anti-censorship societies that need help in fighting.
Censorship.
Help fight denial of learning and
Take a stand.
Going nowhere when you're walking down the street, acting like you just don't care when life could be so sweet. Why you wanna be like that, as if there's nothing new? You're not fooling no one, you're not